we're ready to jump into some of our acrobatics for the advanced training. So we're going to start with the flying butterfly coming from our floating Buddha. And it looks like this. We're going to get into our sumo, our old friend sumo, coming back into the 10 and 2 forearm press. It's been so long since we've done sumo today. Get the leg loops on the ankles. Let's access this pose through our floating Buddha. Make sure that equipment is not tangled. It's helpful. Keep everything aligned from the get-go. And then we're just going to take a moment to come into our windshield wipers. Let's slow it down for a second. Stretch the back. Preparing the vessel for flight. And then we're going to come through center, bend both knees out to the side, feet together. Now the feet need to be glued together for this entire sequence. It's very common for people to lose that foundation. We're going to have a strong foundation to lift off. Then we're going to reach for our knees and slide up the leg loops as high as we can. If you can grab for that place where the fabric meets the webbing, I call it the nub, that's ideal. We're going to press our hips up and lean back for flying monkey. So this is all over view. And then we're going to bicep curl up to sit on our feet. Let's do that a few times. Lean back. Nice big inhale. Exhale, bicep curl. My hips stay pressed forward the entire time. Lean back. And then exhale, bicep curl. And when we come up, there's this space in between the swing and the leg loop. And we have to thread our arm through that space. So this is our flying butterfly. From flying monkey. So our knees stay open wide, our feet stay together, and we're just going to hang out here, hanging a little bit from side to side. If it's uncomfortable on your ankles, I'm going to show you an alternative. Just try and stay with it for this one. Then we're going to release our arms all together and hang by the top of our legs. Now we're locked in once we're here, so if you need to adjust, just come up and try it again. But it's going to be intense, on particularly that inner part of the thigh. And I like to press my arms straight as if I'm coming through my upside down dog, or you can just clasp the elbows and hang. So pick which one you like. The more intense version is to press your arms straight, hands into the upper thigh, and then get a big stretch for the lower back. So pick one of those. I'm going to show you the easy way to come out. We're going to reverse it. I'm going to place one hand in the center of the mat. I'm going to reach back, grab for the swing, turn it over like we learned how to do in our front folds for 2A, and then pick ourselves back up. Okay, put the swing behind your back, find your balance point. Make sure it's underneath the arms before you lean back. Some people lean back with the swing around their neck. We're not going for that. We want to make sure that we got a good hook under the armpits before we release back into our floating Buddha, straighten the legs. Let's try that again, because sometimes for the knees that can be a very intense pose, or maybe it's a little bit more intense on the upper thigh. So I make everything to spread out to offer more support and comfort. So let's hook the heel. It's very important to hook the heel. Spread the leg loop the full length of the lower leg. Okay? So from the arch of the foot to the back of the knee. So don't cover the knees. The knees are still going to bend wide, just like we did before. And it does help if they're both even. So make sure they're on the feet even. When you're upside down, it makes a difference. Okay, knees open wide, feet together. Yes. Okay. Reach for your knees, slide up the leg loops as high as you can. First, we're going to push up into our flying monkey pose. Get that big stretch through the front of the neck. Bicep curl up to sitting. When we bicep curl up to sitting, we're going to thread our arms through that space in front of the leg loops, but keeping around the swing. All right, flying butterfly again. We bend the elbows and hang. From here, we're ready to release the swing, straighten the arms. Again, trust that the leg loops are going to hold us. And now we have a little bit more surface area. It tends to be a little bit more comfortable. You can try pressing up into the thighs, straight arms to lengthen the lower back. It's incredibly therapeutic. Can you feel that? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So from there, the other option is clasping the elbows or coming into upside down dog arms, just straightening the arms and pressing back. Wherever it feels for a bit is what we're going for. Now I'm going to show you how to do the flip. The flip is exactly the same with the leg loops bunched up, so it's mainly just the arm position. So I have to really arch and reach up as high as I can on the leg loops. So not the swing, the leg loops. Reach up. You can watch for this one. So I'm going to stay arched, then I tuck, I pull my hips over my head, and then I flip and come to sit. I wind up with the swing behind my back. Go ahead and give it a try. Reach up as high as you can, stay arched, lift the head, lift the gaze, and then tuck. You're going to kick your feet up and over, up and over. You got to kick up higher, and then you can come to sit. Yeah, pull yourself up. Almost. We're going to try one more time. Cool. A little tricky for this one, so let's try it again. So we come here a little bit faster, coming into Supta. You have to cut like a javelin. We have to kick up and over in order to come to sit. So I'm going to bring, let's try the opposite side first. I'm going to arch and open, and then I tuck, and I kick up and over. Yeah, so the legs go up and over, just a little bit higher. It's nice when you can reach, if you can reach for the top of the leg loop, you have a better grip. So tuck is the other way.
Arch, yeah, no arching here?
Well, you arch to grab, and now you tuck.
Ah, okay.
Get the legs up and over, higher. Yes, and then sit. Yay.
Aha.
That's it. You got it.
Lovely.
So that's challenging for people. So if there's any trouble kicking up and over, then you just come back to the ground, reach back, grab for the swing, rotate it overhead, balance, and pick yourself up. Excellent. So that's our flying butterfly in the Supta. So you can see from our floating Buddha sequence, if our peeps are doing well, then that is a little trick, a little flip, a little inverted hang that we can add. Now, I don't always do what I call kamikaze or flying squirrel. It depends on our mood. And, well, it's actually easier with the legs spread out, so try it this way first. So we're going to try our kamikaze. So we're going to reach up, we're going to grab for our leg loops in our hands, and then we're going to try a front flip. Okay? So legs are going to be straight. We're going to bicep curl up, bring our heart forward, legs go back behind you together, and then come on around. Woo! Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
So most people can do this one, especially with the leg loop spread out, because it's a lot of support, but you know, it's always scary to do a front flip. That's why we call it the kamikaze, because it feels crazy. That, and I was eating sushi at the time, that we made up the name. Okay, so pull, bicep curl, lean forward with the chest, squeeze the legs together, and then come on through. Woo! Awesome. Let's try that with the legs, leg loops bunched up at the arch of the foot. It has to be the arch of the foot or it doesn't work. Okay? Arch of the foot, reach up, grab for the leg loop, nice strong grip. Bring the legs wide. Awesome. Yep. Go ahead. Bicep curl. Slide. Forward tuck. And legs together. Woo! All the way around. Ta-da! That was our little bonus round. Cool. So we're going to go into our high flyers next. We're just going to come on out nice and easy. Unfurl the swing so that it doesn't get all twisted. And we'll be right back.